Jeremy, where are you going to be on Sunday? You doing things for Jace's birthday?
He's helping a friend move, apparently, like 6 hours away.
Oh,
Patrick's
shit.
moving.
Patrick? Oh, they're moving Patrick down to the valley.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, got it.
So I just assumed that, given what you guys have told me about Phoenix, he's basically just moving like 2 towns over in Phoenix.
No, he's actually moving from another town down to Phoenix.
Finally leaving our hometown.
I'm also halfway convinced at this point the state of Arizona is all Phoenix.
It feels like
Pretty
it
much.
sometimes. But we grew up in a small podunk town.
Especially when the president's in town this week, and so all the freeways are shut down and made really stupid and weird, and so traffic's just all the way backed up as full as any road lengths allow.
Biden's in town?
Yep.
Oh.
They did a speech today for like a memorial for John McCain.
Ah.
Like, I think you're a little late on that one.
What's up, Jeremy?
Hello. Sorry, I'm unmuted.
Hmm.
No, helping Patrick move on Sunday. On Saturday, we're having Jace's birthday at 3 o'clock. Charles is invited.
What are you doing?
Pool party and pizzas.
Oh, just at your place?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the point of having a nice backyard. I ain't gotta go nowhere.
That's true. We might be able to talk
grill.
Amanda into that.
And then on Sunday, I gotta help Fat Boy move down. Old Tubby Tubberson III.
Brad's moving?
He's so tubby, he's the first and second as well.
It's okay. You can say you're doing it for Miranda. You don't have to do it for Patrick.
Oh, of course I'm doing it, Miranda. She's my my best friend's wife, but I hate Patrick.
Because he's your best friend.
Yeah.
So, is Patrick the one in the Slayer image?
Actually, no, that fits him very well.
It does, actually. Like, the black long sleeve shirt and with just a logo on it is exactly Patrick's style. But yeah, we can go ahead and get started, and Blake will catch up.
All right. Well, we'll start by letting everybody turn in the homework assignments.
I did not level up anything. I thought about it a lot and then made
keep on stockpiling.
I thought about it a lot and made a bunch of zero decisions.
Right, because I keep reading about the different classes. It's like, oh, that would be cool. Or that one. Blood sorcery. That's interesting. Nobody's dipped into that yet.
Yeah.
Blood
Well.
sorcery.
I think in that case we should at least kick off by talking about what you guys have in mind for the course of the next, I'm actually going to say the next few years. Like, we're going to do some, like, maybe little vignettes or scenes. But now that you've started to establish yourself, and, you know, Blake in particular has had a couple of favors called back in, and you still don't really necessarily know why or what exactly it is you
Oh, that's right. That's what we were
help
handling.
repay. But you have reestablished Camria control. Have some unanswered questions, obviously. but over the again, because we're also dealing in vampire time, over the course of a few years, as you all better settle in, we can talk about what you want to do. Maybe even look at spending some of those experience points that you thought so much about.
All right. So Ben, which of the disciplines would best help us accomplish that?
Uh, if
I
your
know the
Lego experience
Camarilla.
is anything like my Lego experience,
Are the Camarilla also anti-Legos in addition to anti-electronics?
They're Mega Blocks.
no, they're all
No.
about Legos. Uh, I'm just going to tell you, you're probably going to need some Dominate and some Potence to make the Legos fit together, though.
Dude. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Amanda.
I had switched it to my mic. I didn't know it was on the headphones. My bad. Well, hey, stream. That's me being lovey-dovey with the 5-year-old and the girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend.
A really cute one. But, I try not to say that too much because, her brother's
Nerd.
my best friend.
And it goes straight to her head. I mean,
yeah, then she plays a character like Blake.
I wouldn't cross Blake.
Me neither. I wouldn't cross Amanda. She's petty. You gotta be careful. Can you hear me? Testing. Can you hear me? Okay, why can I not hear you guys all of a sudden? God damn it, Discord.
And now, stream, you know the
Okay.
unvarnished secret.
Okay.
Yes.
Now can you
use
hear
Discord?
me?
And no, we don't understand it either.
Okay. Good to know.
Nobody does.
Cool. Do I sound better?
Yeah, now you sound like
better.
you're talking to the mic again.
Okay, good. Okay, that means the settings right on stream and the settings right on Discord. No, it's funny. I actually had my mic settings correct for stream, didn't have them correct for Discord. So you guys heard, but the stream didn't. So, anyways, sorry for interrupting.
That's no problem. But Alex, tell me what some of your dreams are as you go about establishing yourself and growing your influence in the Knights of New Amsterdam.
I was thinking, like, just throwing it out there. First of all, I was thinking about going down the road of blood sorcery a little bit, and I was thinking, since he has access to the medical facility and the blood bank inside, like, some of the skills could be interesting, like the level 1 taste for blood, so that he can kind of help better determine, like, it's kind of like the next level of the potency smell that he's already able to do.
Yeah, you're
Like, if
nice
he's
little
able to,
bloodhound
like,
trait.
yeah, to, like, being able to distinguish through taste and potentially, like, know the individual whose blood that I'm tasting, so that next time we come across, like, a staked vampire like Victor, if there's any signs of a fight or, like, a different scene that we come across, like, and there's blood spatter, we can determine potentially who's responsible, to find out, like, who's got the other key to the archives.
I mean, I'm very much in favor of you exploring blood sorcery.
I was thinking, since he's just got like little samples of blood from the blood bank with all sorts of information taken about him, like he can just, sip from his little buffet available to learn about the different specific tastes associated with the different properties. And I think like since getting his eyes open to this whole otherworldly existence that is just like operating in the covert shadows of the world that he's lived in for so long, like he'll start doing a little bit more like weird research that he wouldn't normally, like some of the less credible sources, like reading about occult happenings and shenanigans, like aliens being spotted. Those.
Now that we know that kinds of shit is real.
Yeah, like maybe there's a little bit more to that. Previously, like
Terry's telling me about Cain and Abel. What other shit is real?
Right? Just to get like a little more informed, because I would imagine he was much more of like a straight and narrow, studious guy when he was alive, like on his road through med school, and so like he was very focused on his education, and so now like the floor's kind of opened up under him with like the world that he thought he lived in is not at all how it is. And so he's going to get a little bit more aware of some of the weird nightmarish things that exist.
Probably would have been easy if you had diabolized that guy.
Right? And then continuing along that route, I'm not sure how the blood sorcery works. Like if you have to have advance it into different levels, kind of like the other skills, or if you can just select like the spell level thing that you want, or if you have to advance something for that.
I would imagine it's like the dot system where you have to go one level at a time.
Because there's specifically like an XP expenditure thing depending on the level of the spell.
Yeah, it's ritual level times 3.
Times 3.
So for level
but I don't know if there's
3
like
points.
But I'm not sure if you have to like advance a clan discipline up to a level to access the higher level blood sorceries.
Well, blood sorcery is a discipline.
271.
So you've got, just like you were trying to advance your potence or your dominate, you would have to spend the points to advance it, but
oh, here it is.
You can also pick up new rituals that are available at your discipline level for the cost of that ritual's level times 3 experience points.
Okay.
Yeah, it just says, unless otherwise noted, performing a ritual requires a rouse check, 5 minutes per level to cast, and a winning intelligence plus blood sorcery test. Difficulty equals ritual level +1. So you have to have...
different spells have different costs and durations and...
Yeah, and you have to have blood sorcery, the discipline, in order to even cast.
All right.
Because your 1 dot in blood sorcery is what allows you to even make the check.
Okay.
So you would need a dot in blood sorcery and then a dot in the ritual itself, is how I'm reading this.
Yeah, I would agree. And you can purchase rituals. Like if you put 1 dot in it, you can purchase rituals that a first level, blood sorcerer could use.
Gotcha.
Along with gathering the ingredients. Which it looks like that's part of the challenge.
So to start the blood sorcery, that's going to cost me 7 to go 1 point in blood sorcery, and then 3 more for a first level. For like
yeah, because
10 total for that.
If it's not a clan discipline, then you'd need 7. If it is a clan discipline, you need 5. I don't know what...
I think there's only the one clan that has blood sorcery.
What's caitiff?
Atif is a clanless character, so
got it.
their their bloodline is not strong enough to be, sort of discerned as a specific clan type.
Yeah, then as a Ventru, I think you need 7 for the other discipline, and then 3 for the blood sorcery ritual itself. So you'd need 10 points
All
total.
right. I got 30 to spend in total.
I thought we have 24 total. Or do you have extra character creation dots?
I have extra
Yeah,
from earlier in the campaign.
Got it.
He hasn't spent all the XP that he's accumulated so far.
Because I was originally saving up for a different discipline.
So you were
1 point shy. And
you
now
were
I'm taking
saving
a
up your
different
character
pivot.
creation dots from the very start?
No, from earlier in the campaign when he gave us all 9 experience.
Yeah, he gave us 9 and then 15.
Yeah.
That's 24.
That's I'm the one who has their character creation stats plus the.
I'm just trying to figure out where Ryan got extra XP from.
We got 6 XP for the advantages.
That's just the character creation ones, yeah. Unless Ben gave us an extra 6.
After we found the archives.
How much XP should I have if I have
Wait,
it?
are we supposed to have an extra 6 dots?
No, just an extra 6 XP.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Those ones were specifically for 2 more dots on a skill after we found the archive for advantages.
I don't think I ever did that. Okay. I don't remember hearing that.
Congratulations.
Cool. So 6 points, but specifically for skills.
Yes.
So I could do
So
a
24 we
second
can
dot
spend
in
otherwise.
something or 2 first dots.
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
okay, I will take a first dot in. I'll take a first dot in performance.
Oh.
I think is a good one. And then I'll take a first dot in etiquette. Okay. All right. Cool. Are you done, Ryan? Because I do have one thing I wanted to do. I remembered it now that I'm looking at this XP.
I'm done for now. I got to figure out what I got to finagle XP.
Okay, cool. So Terry, now kind of learning about Blake's social situation in the vampire world, he wants to see what he can do to fix that now that we have some influence. And so I wanted to take taking advantage, 1 dot advantage in let me find it really quick, because the name is escaping Nick's head at the moment. Where did it go? Here, is this the thing? This is Cotteries. I'm almost there. Not okay. Here it is. Not resources. Not retainer. Status. I want 1 dot in status. You have something of a reputation and standing, earned or unearned, within a specific local community of kindred, probably Camarilla or Anarch. So it'd be specifically into Camarilla in this case. Status among Camarilla society derives as often from your sire status and the respect due to your particular bloodline as it does from personal achievement. So that's something Terry's going to have to get over or work through because his sire kind of sucks. So he's going to be more of a working from the shadows, trying to elevate Blake on the status of her sire. Because it's not about Terry. Because Terry's lineage, as far as vampires go, is as far as Camarilla vampires go, rocky at best. So high status among So one dot makes me makes a known. So a properly introduced, welcomed neonate is seen as an up and comer. So at the very least, Terry wants to be recognized as a kindred and be able to talk to people on that level. At least where they're like, okay, he's not a rookie anymore. He has some status. We've heard of you guys out there. Kind of see if I can't spend that dot to bring a known status to our coterie, as it were.
Okay. So, what would you say you like? Just any ideas you've got about the kinds of things you're doing to help establish your status within the Camarilla?
So, I mean, I feel like if we have solidly taken care of the issues that were facing Ridgemont before we came in, that we could at least be happy to report that Ridgemont is under Camarilla control again. And that, I feel like that little bit of just being like, hey, our group is the one that brought this under control after, and he's fully gonna throw Victor and Monica under the bus. Every bus he can find, he's gonna throw them under it, and just kind of talk about how we've regained control of Ridgemont for the Camarilla and whatnot. Places
All right.
like Sphinx's
So here's what
bar
happens.
and other places like that. Vampire places.
Oh yeah. So here's what happens. You get a handwritten note asking for you to attend a meeting at Glow, a nice upscale bar that you've been to before with Blake.
Oh, the one time she took me there. Yeah.
And the note is signed Maxwell Clark.
I remember him. He's the guy that first rescued me.
Yeah. All the way back.
I'll say he's the one. I forget specifically if I had him be exactly the one who rescued you or just the one in charge of those who rescued you.
He was the one that was literally in the car when we jumped in it. From what I remember.
He was also the one definitely running things when we got introduced.
You're right. He was the one driving the car. Excellent. All right. So we'll say this is some 2 months after the events we've most recently experienced in our session. You and the team have settled the neighborhood down a little bit. You have taken care of some of the properties that Chris Fawkes had an interest in. You've reestablished them as safe locations. And we'll circle back around to any questions you may have about other things you were interested in looking into in those first couple of months. But for now, you get this invite, and the meeting is to happen at 11 p.m. on a Friday evening in the private room at Glow.
Terry's gonna go shopping per Blake's example and make sure he buys some new threads for his trip downtown.
Okay. So what do you arrive to your meeting wearing?
It's at a bar. Hold on, there's a Charles here.
Oh, you're wearing a Charles.
Yes, tonight I'm wearing
What's
Charles.
he doing at the bar?
Charles Amon.
That's a very exclusive label.
Charles, hey, I have a question for you. What should my character wear?
Baseball hat.
He's wearing a fancy baseball hat. I think in that case, he's gonna go for the Alex Rodriguez look. You know, the loose open shirt with the sport coat and the slacks and nice shoes and then should he wear a baseball cap?
Yeah.
Or and then
Baseball everything.
maybe a baseball cap. Blake would probably nix that, but I feel like Terry would include the hat, and then Blake would be like, "No, take it off."
It's baseball everything.
Okay. So you show up. You're in your self-described Alex Rodriguez attire.
Yeah, silk shirt. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean it's nice. And I honestly envision you showing up with the baseball cap, kind of doing like the Chance the Rapper sort of. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I
high-
feel like Terry would rock it. It's a Yankees
Terry could
hat
pull
for
it
the
off.
record.
You're in New Amsterdam. You're wearing a Yankees hat.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we're in. No, hold on. Stand by. I have my list. Don't say anything, Ben. I have my list. He is wearing a New Amsterdam Black Sox hat.
Damn right he is.
Goddamn right he is. The logo looks almost identical to the Yankees.
So you show up. The oh Lord, the host at the entryway sees you walk in, doesn't even ask for your name, directs you to the back room, and has a server come up and escort you back. They have a tray. It already has what appears to be flutes of wine on the tray. A nice dark red wine that they offer. Do you choose to take one?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll even blush of life if I. Or wait, is this all vampires?
You know that Glow is a high profile, popular night place. I mean, it's exclusive.
But it's not
But it is-
technically all vampires.
Correct.
Okay, then blush of life it is.
And as you pick up the glass, and you first get a whiff of it, you know this is not wine, but it is still warm. So, this is being very carefully managed.
Okay.
And as you're escorted into the back room, you see a exquisite, long, like 15-person table. It's like, imagine the scene from like The Godfather where the heads of the 5 families meet.
Oh yeah.
And the only person that doesn't appear to be there to wait or provide some other service is Maxwell Clark. And he's standing there looking at a beautifully done tapestry of an overhead map of New Amsterdam. And he glances back as you come in. Says, "Terry, it is most pleasant to see you again. You seem to be doing quite well. Welcome."
Thank you, Maxwell. It's been a journey. Learning the night, but I find myself accustomed to it.
I had all the confidence in the world that you would. There is much to recommend you, as you have shown, and as your friends have shown over the last several months. We had reason to suspect that you would demonstrate this capability. And I think perhaps you have questions that you'd like some answers to.
I mean, I definitely think that there's a lot more going on than I'm aware of, and I wouldn't mind
Yes,
a peek
of course
behind
there's
that
that.
curtain. You're not wrong. I'm very interested in the Masquerade. He says in with like a flourish.
Well, that is a very good thing to be interested in. It's the key to our survival, and has been for centuries. As you have seen, those who choose to disregard its advice reap the whirlwind. I think there may be one piece of information you're most interested in, whether you know it or not. I believe by now you have probably surmised who your sire was.
That is, yes.
And as I'm certain you are aware, you know what brought about his downfall and your opportunity.
I am aware of the presence of these individuals.
Well, I think what you may not be aware of, but what you may be most interested to know. You were selected for rescue for a reason. I mean, of course, there is our interest in ensuring that none of our kind are so mistreated by those who have no business interfering with us. But beyond that, we knew of your existence for one simple reason. We followed Ace. We watched his movements. Ace's sire. Now there's a man of substance. Misguided quality, perhaps, but of substance. Those who come from that line, a well-known, formerly well-respected line of the Bruja clan, there is greatness in them. We see that in you. And we hope that you will help lead those of your clan back to where they belong, back into the folds of the Camarilla.
Gives that, like, you know, Dwayne the Rock Johnson eyebrow at this guy, and then he's like, "You're talking about." Oh, god damn it. Where is Terry from? Genbaton.
I am.
I'm interested. That is my home.
There
Was.
are others
How do you
of your
talk about where you
association.
came from as a human? Like, this is how Terry's going to get his dot in etiquette. He's going to get a little etiquette lesson from somebody not named Blake. He's going to get a little etiquette lesson from Maxwell Clark if he can, and learn a little
Absolutely.
Camarilla etiquette. Like a little kindred etiquette, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is both a perceptive and a wise question. How does one talk of that part of one's existence? It certainly is nothing to be ashamed of.
It's where you were born still, right?
One birth, yes.
True.
And as time progresses, you will find it is the less important of the two births.
That makes sense. Hence
Your
why who your sire is or your new life giver is so important. Just like
indeed.
with humans, the circumstances of your birth is also important. I understand.
I think you do. There is power that runs through the veins. But there are multiple kinds of that power. There's the obvious kind. And he has, a very nice glass of wine, of what you strongly suspect is blood that he's
Yeah.
been holding. And without making any sort of unusual movements or making a big show of it, but just to get that little extra emphasis on his point, he drops, he just releases the wine glass, and you just see a blur of motion. Like you get a sense of someone brushing past you, and you feel just the briefest brush of fingertips across the front of your shirt, and it's almost like you blink and he's gone, but he's there again. The wine glass has dropped maybe 2 inches when he grabs it again, but in his other hand is a second glass, and when you glance back, the server is at the back of the room at the door where you came in, just standing there, and doesn't look like they saw anything.
Can Terry this is a little bit of a metagame question, so feel free to say no. Can Terry make some kind of an intelligence check based on his recent readings and kind of talking with everybody about powers and stuff to figure out what power he just used, and if that's the same stuff that Terry has? Was it specifically, was it the potent discipline, or was it something else?
Yeah, you can absolutely do a check on that. Let's see, what would be a good combination of skills, do you think, for that?
I wasn't sure what to go with it as far as skills go. Maybe investigation, awareness. I have a 1 dot in both of those.
I think since you're relying on the recent information you've been collecting, this
Yeah.
is less about detecting something that's, I mean, you
I
know
have,
what just happened.
I also have insight as far as if it's my own power, I guess.
I think in this situation, I'm going to say the most appropriate thing would be occult.
Occult. Oh, okay, cool.
And it's really about what information have you been gathering that this is clearly not a natural thing.
Oh, I got 1 success.
Okay, so you recognize you don't think that is something you would be capable of with the powers you've tapped into.
Okay.
So this is something different.
Okay. No, that's good. So it's not just a normal discipline thing. There's something other going on.
Well, it's not
He's cheating.
It's not a normal discipline that you feel like you have,
Or have witnessed up to this point.
right? Or have seen up to this point.
Wait, quick question. Is it the same kind of speed that I saw from the sheriff?
Yes.
Okay. So, that at least tells me that Clark Maxwell's on par with, or at least maybe not on par with, but approaches that. He's probably slower than the sheriff was. Even, can Terry at least notice that he's slower than the sheriff?
I want to say they both were so fast, you can't judge their speed at that point.
Not there yet. I'll take it. Terry will just kind of look at him and say, "Impressive."
It can be, but it's the less impressive of the two types of power that come with the blood that flows in your veins. The merely physical, the things that our nature allows us to do. Given enough kind, much of the same could be accomplished. The insight, the experience, the access to true power that comes with the blood that flows in your veins. That is the real essence of our life. The real essence of the Camria. We have stood for centuries, centuries, in the face of those who would see us destroyed. We have grown to control much of the world you see. We are fractured. Much strength has gone out of us. We hope you will be part of the catalyst to bring that strength back, to bind us together again. I shall give you a name. It is the name of the sire of your sire. A name that commands a great deal of respect in this town. With it, perhaps you will find access to a little bit of that power of your own. But I warn you, do not attempt to trade on this name.
Because he's not my sire still.
Correct.
Is that,
And he has his own plans.
does that have to do with the... And forgive me if this is out of line. The generations thing?
It has less to do with the generations than it does with, well, the outlook of the individual. He, like many of his kind, seems to chafe at any idea that working together is better than working alone. He refuses to see the wisdom of what we do, and instead chooses to focus his ire at what restrictions it imposes upon us. But Ivan is still a man to be respected, to be treated fairly, and not to be trifled with.
Ivan Zaitsev?
Indeed. I thought you would have at least heard the name, even if you would not have known much to make it important to you. I'm sure from your time before you awoke in the night, you've heard tales of, well, the underworld gangs that run Ginbatan, that run the docks, that run the drug trade that keeps so much of this city in misery.
Intimately familiar.
Well, in your second life, you were even more intimately involved with him.
Well, I was not born to great circumstances in my first life, so I'm used to it.
That connection, that knowledge, if used wisely, may yet help bring back strength to the Camarilla to make all of us better. And that is the thanks that I and the Prince wish you to have for what you have accomplished.
Forgive me if this is too forward, but is that permission to begin?
It, let us say it is permission to continue what you have started.
Just in a little bit of a broader direction. It's good to
Indeed.
know. And just so I know what I'm wading my way into, is there anybody else's toes I would be stepping on and getting baton?
None as important as Ivan.
He's the one that runs everything? No Camarilla presence at all?
The Prince, in his wisdom, has chosen to work out an arrangement with Ivan, mutually beneficial, while he still seeks to convince Ivan of the wisdom of truly rejoining us. At this time, we do not know with certainty that Ace acted on his own. We suspect as much, and therefore we do not move against Ivan.
So if
But-
I was to act on my own, he might not move against you.
Indeed.
An interesting proposition, and one my little friend Rain will be happy to play.
Yes, he does seem to have a penchant for, well, let us say the more downtrodden elements of our fine city.
And ambition as well. If we want to replace that presence with one of our own, he's a great candidate.
I see our thoughts are aligned. As I say, we see great potential in each of you.
Even Blake.
Lake would not be where she were today if it were not for the potential we saw.
I do wonder, how did she end up playing babysitter? She seems the type to be above that.
But if she has chosen not to share that, I will not share a lady's secrets.
Pity.
Now, I must bid you a good evening. It has been good to watch you work, and I look forward to a rousing relationship moving forward.
Okay, now question, Ben.
Yep.
This is also a meta question that just I don't know the answer to. How does breaking a flaw like work? Like, say Terry's like at this moment gonna consciously choose to change how he feeds and drink this blood with Clark Maxwell. Like, I don't. What? How does that work?
Well, let's see. If you're concerned about like the actual feeding aspect of this,
Because I do technically, based on the choices that I made when we first started, like kind of as like his right from the get-go human like impulses.
Yep.
I do have the feeding flaw, the prey exclusion.
Yep.
But I was wondering, is like, do I have to like do anything to like consciously be like, I'm gonna break that and not do this anymore?
What I'm going to say is that your prey exclusion, which was non-consenting, is not truly in effect at this time. If you suspect that this blood was taken against someone's will, then I will say drinking it will cause you a stain because you believe it was done non-consensually.
But if I have no idea and have no need
Yeah, if you
to
have no
think that
idea and you
way,
don't, and like you're not thinking about it, like in character,
yeah.
if you're not concerned about that at this moment, I'm going to say it doesn't really have an effect.
Oh, okay. I guess like I don't think Nick necessarily thought of it that way. But that's because we haven't fed like this yet, really.
Correct.
So it was just kind of
So,
like I was like, does this break? I guess in my head I was like, does this like break my prey exclusion? And it kind of like feels like the answer is not necessarily.
and again, I think, I mean, not to get all meta moral here, but it's like if you consider it, I don't know, sinful to eat beef, and you sit down to have a meal and don't know there's beef in it, is it or isn't it? So that's kind of how I'm looking at this. Like,
Yeah.
if
So if you
Terry thinks about
consciously
it,
violate it, then you get a stain. Okay, I'm seeing that now in this description. Okay. So that's the answer. I would because
and
Terry still. I guess so. I guess over time you could change the way you think and therefore change the way you feed.
yes, and where you started out with a humanity of 8 and it has since dropped to a 7, I will say that should you be interested in doing so, as your humanity, say it drops again sometime in the next, I don't know, handful of sessions, you could at that point basically trade in maybe a little bit of XP or just trade in some humanity to remove that prey exclusion.
Oh, okay, okay, I see that. So like, oh yeah, because the consensualist is what kept me up 1 dot of humanity. So without it, I would be at a 6 anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes sense. Good call, storyteller. Good call. I like the way your brain works.
I just think it works thematically. It's like, to me, that sort of prey exclusion is like, I'm not going to drink from an unwilling person,
But there's
is
no
a
person
moral
present right now.
stance.
Yeah.
As your humanity, your connection to that sort of moral sense degrades, that is the penalty you're paying.
Yeah. And because like then, because it is kind of like maybe as that degrades, maybe it is more like, did you actively hunt this thing? No. Well, they consented to somebody. Okay, cool. Well, then Terry, not wanting to give up any kind of clue on that, is going to cheers with Clark and drink his drink.
All right. And with that, you can now spend the XP you wanted on your status.
Cool. We have 1 point of status, y'all.
Ooh.
Okay. And now we fade out of that scene. Do we have one for Alex or Rain or maybe even Blake?
Blake is feeling tired and is going to take a walk to the mailbox.
I had
Okay.
a banshee take it out of me today.
Yeah, I hear that screen time's killer.
He said, I hear that screen time is killer.
It's real. It's real.
There you go. She can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Whoop his ass.
Dude, I came so close.
Bro, just if you drop kick him once, you could always, homie, I'll drop kick you again.
She
You don't
drop
have
kicked.
to.
She drop kicked him emotionally, man.
He beat himself up with a chair. So I feel like I won.
It was pretty. You did kind of
Yep,
kick his ass.
I think you won this round.
I did.
She did very much
I
so.
beat a 5-year-old in pettiness.
In resounding fashion.
As good moms do.
It's the only way we can function is being more petty than a 5-year-old.
It's
Just
the
wait.
only
Soon
way.
you'll have to be more petty than a 6-year-old.
It's
Okay.
called evolution.
Just think how well that pettiness has paid off for Blake, though.
Look, I will beat up Terry with a chair too.
Hey, you will be proud of Terry. He got dressed up, and went to Glow and met Clark Maxwell and learned vampire etiquette along the way.
Yeah, but you didn't bring Alex or the stinky one.
Yeah, exactly. I left them at home.
Why would you take the stinky one?
Because you guys need to learn manners too.
You would
Oh, no.
never let them in a place like that. Look at it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
you would never let them
you wouldn't
in
let
there.
them in Glow if you had any possibility of
That's
preventing it.
Yeah. No, Terry did the right thing.
So
Kept
you
it
can learn.
exclusive.
Yes. That's exactly the point of this episode, is that Terry can learn. What's Rain doing?
Yeah, what's Ryan or Alex doing?
I was wondering what Alex is doing because he always goes last.
Alex went first. He did those blood ritual, blood sorcery shit.
He sort of went first. If he settled on something, we can dig into it some more.
I am between two. If Rain wants to go first, like if he's planning on leaning towards one thing, I could go towards another. Otherwise, I was thinking about just like spending some time physically fighting with Terry, because in order to like up his own skills, like next time it's life or death. Like there were some occasions where he was not doing so hot, and like just against a guy that was just turned the other day, and he feels like he should be a little bit more capable of that next time, like especially if we're going to be ambushing a clan of Russian vampires in some point in the future. He would like to make sure he at least survives that long. And so I was thinking about taking the prowess ability to allow me to add my potence rating for feats of strength, and it can also add that to my melee damage to like give me a little bit more punch when I actually punch.
I like it. So why don't you walk me through this, your what I can best describe as your Rocky training montage moment.
So just like I'd imagine he might have gone to Rain probably the first time and come to immediately regret that.
No,
After
man,
getting his-
it's just prison blows. You're fine. It's like what we do. What we do in the joint.
And so like for the need of needing more rudimentary basics for fighting techniques and styles, he knows that Terry would probably be a better option and have a bit more patience than Rain to teach him over the course of these few months. And knowing that Terry is like physically bigger and stronger, like having recognized some of that potence, vitality of Terry's own, being able to like not have to hold back punches as much, knowing that physically he can take a beating and recover from it.
So I see
If
you
he hits
two
too hard.
just like, in little scenes. It starts out with Alex throwing like, a halfway decent punch, and you can tell he's got some power behind it. But it's like watching Neo
Alex,
when he's first
like-
sparring with Morpheus.
Honestly,
Yes.
you got to be honest with me. Have you ever been in a fight?
I mean, there was that guy at the bar. I got to smash a glass into his throat.
Yeah, but have you ever been in a fight? Like, have you ever like actually like fought somebody with your hands?
I've been in a couple of scraps, but nothing really life-threatening.
Okay. Well, all right, let me break it down for you. So, you don't want to Terry kind of actually like shows you like how to hold your hand so you don't break your fist, and like where to actually like punch somebody in the face so it actually does something and you don't break your fist, like those kinds of things that you just learn from experience of fighting, because Terry's been fighting his whole life. He's very used to it, and has 3 dots in Brawl. I have 3 dots in Brawl. So, yeah, you came to the right place. Like, I feel like Terry low-key, like, was practicing to be an MMA fighter at one point. Like, just as a workout.
I also like the idea that the very first lesson you give Alex is boxing gloves aren't to protect the guy you're hitting. They're to protect your hands.
And in this case, you don't have any gloves. So let me show you how to protect your hands. Because even in Undeath, that shit still is going to break.
And so there's just session after session of this, and Rain's even like sitting on the side occasionally, like picking up some tips. When he's not busy at his home away from home.
Because Terry also has
occasional leg sweep.
Yeah, well, yeah, because Terry doubly is good at this, as even on the vampire side of things, which is cool, because this could be how Terry trains his potence ability. Because I do have 2 dots in potence, so Terry has prowess and lethal body. Like, Terry can literally deal aggravated health damage to mortals if he desires. Like, he could literally punch a hole through a man's chest.
Indeed he could.
Which is wild.
How many points of strength do you have?
4.
I have
All of
4.
them.
I have 4 dex and 3 brawl, and I can turn my hands into claws.
That's cool.
For
You fight in a different way. Yo, Scrappy.
I don't like getting hit, but I like stabby stab.
And you know what I really like about this? Like, you two both have very powerful physical characters. Blake may still be the most powerful person in the group.
That's terrifying.
With her charisma.
Mm-hmm. She's the one that has 4 dots in charisma and 3 dots in manipulate.
I have 3 and 2 in those. Terry's no slouch. It's his wits that are low.
But how many dots of composure does she have?
3.
All right.
She's got them social stats. But yeah, happy to teach him how to fight.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, and again, we're sort of skipping back and forth in time here. I'll say that if you're spending your points to increase an ability given by your disciplines, that really revolves around learning how to access and use that power within the blood within you.
Oh yeah, I was actually just looking at that. I'm like, oh no, 3rd dot and potence cost 15. I'm like the full 15, so I can't do that because I already spent. I already spent my 3 on status.
But for Alex, like, he's picking up that next talent. And it takes a few months. I mean, this is not something that's like, oh, let me show you this little move here. But the combination of actually learning how to leverage the new found power, like physical prowess he has, and the repeated, times of taking that hit, then getting back up, dishing it out again, doing that over and over, does in fact allow you to spend those experience points to increase your capabilities.
And then a song plays. It's the eye of the tiger that's the thrill of the fight. Right rising up to the challenge of our rivals.
Yeah, the strange thing is that is exactly what happened. Like there was music playing, but it was like over the course of the entire training montage, which means that every fight it was just like this weird sort of very low hum in the background. But now that you play it all together, yeah, it was like super slow music. But then now that you play it all together, it's like, hey, there it is.
That's what that humming was. As this is going on, during our occasional scraps, would like to also kind of make use of like the taste of blood sorcery, and his bloodhound scent in order to better familiarize themselves with the sense of his packmates, so that if somebody gets kidnapped at any point, like he can have a rough idea of their scent
That's
or
fucking
being
cool.
for the taste of blood to hunt them down.
Alrighty. Actually, I think I'm gonna have you make a little test.
All right.
And Terry, you're gonna have to make this same test. Since
Okay.
you're both engaged in this physical, training, and you're using so much of your abilities. I mean, you're tapping into your hunger quite a bit. So, I need each of you to make me, let's see. Let's make it a composure and a survival check.
Oh, that's not great for me.
Oh man, those are like my stats.
Let's go!
Look at you
I
go.
rolled 2 dice. I got 2 successes.
I rolled 2 dice. I got 3 successes.
So, you both successfully managed to avoid getting yourselves at any point during this training, this long training series, of getting so hungry that you go on any sort of frenzied hunt.
Oh, that would have been bad.
So,
Shit.
you successfully beat the crap out of each other without ever getting to the point where you really push each other too far.
All right, before we go like feral. Before the hunger takes over.
I am a Bruja. That is a very, very high likelihood. I didn't think of that.
You're telling me that now?
If I'm watching
After the
this,
montage?
You've watched me crush a man's head.
Yeah.
For no
you
apparent
mentioned-
reason.
You mentioned that part before. I thought you were more or less like just
And you're a Ventru. You wouldn't even be scared. You're like, whatever. I command you, bitch.
it's less effective against other kindred.
Less effective, not ineffective. But Rain, you were saying something?
I've been watching them fight the entire time. Do I need to make this roll?
What? I'm saying this was for them doing this sort of training on multiple occasions over months.
Oh,
It's just in none of those sessions did they push each other so far that they got too hungry. So since you're not the one taking the physical beating or dishing it out, I don't think you need to worry about that test. However, I do need to know what it is you've been doing in the course of, let's say by this point, it's been a good 6 months have passed. So what have you been doing over the last 6 months?
So that entire list I sent you, is that too much to be able to do in 6 months and I need to pick some?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably a little much for 6 months.
Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
I think, item number 3 is totally feasible.
Win the lottery.
I
Yeah,
think
what's
item number
this-
4
What is
and
this
number
list?
5. Well, he did his homework and turned it in, so.
To be fair, I said what I wanted to do at the end of the session.
That's fairly reasonable. That's true. So I think 3, 4, 5 in your. Well, I'm going by the bulleted list, so maybe it's 4, 5, and 6, depending on how you read it. But everything from motorcycle to hunting ground.
All right.
Yeah, the
Um,
motorcycle was a good idea. I remember you bringing that up.
So yeah, we're gonna get a hold of Jay to have him buy us a motorcycle because every dealership I walk to is closed at midnight for some reason.
Just buy it online.
You can totally buy it online.
That's what I'm having Jay do, but because um I don't know how web pages work.
Oh, that's right. You were in jail.
You, you also
uh,
don't have a credit card that you could put it down on it. You don't have.
No, but
There's a
after
number of things here,
I'd
but
like to do a couple side jobs for Mr. Howard of doing deliveries, and then one day just walk up to Jay while he's streaming, not realizing he is streaming. Just walk up behind him and drop like 10 grand on his desk. I'm like, hey, can you buy me a motorcycle?
yes, I can do that. Sure. Uh, and he's like furiously typing, and he changes like he's got a microphone set up and everything, and he quickly types something in, and you see his screen change, and it goes to like this sort of like commercial break sort of thing, and he turns around and goes, I mean,
Wait,
yeah, I can
break.
do that, but man, I was like, I'm in the middle of something here. Does that have to be right this second?
You were playing a racing game, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm streaming. How do you think I keep people engaged?
I thought streaming was a game. Is that not the name of the game?
No. No, this is Gran Turismo 4.
Oh shit, they made four. That's I played the one up. Either way, I need you to buy me a motorcycle. There's 10 grand. I don't know how much they cost. You can have whatever's left.
Well, I mean, just any motorcycle?
Harleys are badass.
I'm not buying you a Harley. Do you have
What?
any idea how loud those things are?
I'm. I don't want it to be quiet. I don't know, just a cool one that looks like a Harley and it's quiet. Then.
Rain, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Where do you plan to park this?
Oh, so you know that house I found? Well, I've been having some of the guys I meet under the bridge stay there on the rainy nights, and they've told their buddies, and there's just a bunch of dudes there. But I'm gonna park it in there, and they said they'd watch it for me.
Okay. If you trust your drug addict friends to watch over your motorcycle and not run off with it,
Oh, they
sure,
know better than that.
I'll get you a Harley.
Oh, they know. They wouldn't turn on me. They know I can find them. They're honestly, I've got some loyal boys, and plus, as long as I'm supplying the drugs, they do what I want. They've been starting to sell it for me too. I got me a little business going.
You? Business?
Yeah, I mean, that's it's like a half of this week's profit. I gotta wait for more shipments from Mr. Howard, and I've been doing jobs for him to try to get closer.
Well, very impressive. I didn't know dogs could do that.
You're the mean one right now. Is it because you lost at Gran Turismo?
Because you interrupted my stream. Get the fuck out.
All right, just send the box. Send the box with the motorcycle, or however they deliver it to the bodega.
You'll get your goddamn motorcycle. Get out.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay. Peace, homie. And then I'm gonna walk out.
And you hear him like going back on. He says, sorry, crazy ass roommate.
And then because after I get the motorcycle, I plan on heading out to where I was turned to look for clues. But also, so in the skills, because I've been reading the rule book, I'd like to, I've been following my guys, um, during their runs. Like I'm not just like blind. I'm actually vouching the guys, and the guys that do dip up on me end up missing, and it's kind of a way I've been feeding too, and it's a way to cull the herd till I know who's loyal. And during that time, my obfuscate ability to turn invisible, um, one time I was in a crowd of people watching a guy, and he started to run, and I couldn't move without being seen, and just like that, I needed to move, and I felt myself touch touch my kindred spirit. I guess I don't know how to put that, but I'm gonna spend XP to get a second point in obfuscate to be able to move while I'm invisible, and then
I like it.
I followed him and then chased him down, got the money and the drugs.
Now, when you say that these guys disappeared, exactly how?
Well, I mean, some guys, I pull guys from the bridge, and that's where I dump bodies.
I heard they went to live on a farm upstate.
Okay, so I mean, you did legitimately just like straight up kill them, hide the bodies, so on and so forth.
Because this is more so, I've started to call my little group the Red Eyes, and we're a gang. And if you're dumb enough, this isn't like vampire, this is gang war. Like, you're in my gang. If you're gonna steal from me, you're gonna suffer the consequences.
No, I mean,
And
I'm totally good with it.
and
I
then
just wanted to be sure before
and
I,
then like
explain the consequences.
um, I'd say probably the second guy just to get the word out that you don't steal from me. And then yeah, so two or three guys.
Okay. So, let's see here.
Oh, I have a connection with Mr. Howard. Could I figure out how he disposes of bodies?
Sure.
Hey, Fred. How do you do?
Um,
Rain, good to
oh,
see you.
hey, Mr. Howard. I've had a bit of an issue running um, business a little bit. I've had some people started to run and steal, and I couldn't have them leave. And now I'm in
Mm.
possession of a couple of bags that I need disposed of.
Ah, yes. There's always the risk that when doing certain types of business, a lot of extra trash gets generated.
Yes, sir. And I,
So you had two collectors go missing, huh? Didn't
yes.
show up for work?
Nope.
Well, that can definitely be a challenge. You know, I do know of one good place. I've found you can find some really good people there. Can be a little challenging to deal with sometimes, but they do good work, and I bet they can help you out. If you need somebody to fill in for you for a little while, um, now you gotta head out of town. But if you go to Hughley Farms, you can usually find some of their farm hams. They raise a lot of pigs, and those guys know how to work. So if you need somebody, maybe swing by there.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Howard.
And tell you what, tell them I sent you, and I bet they'll put you right in touch with the guys you need to talk to.
Perfect. I appreciate you, and you let me know when the next job pops up.
Oh, I will. Now I assume since two of your guys didn't show up for their shift, that you did go and do their rounds, right? And you've
Oh,
collected.
of course, you'll get the drop off at the same scheduled time.
Excellent.
Myself, the rest of my guys doing the business.
That's what I like to hear.
On the bright side, ever since the two have gone missing, the others just seem to be working wonderfully.
Well, it is quite often that when some members of the team fall away, the rest of the team pulls together.
Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Howard.
Rain, come back anytime. You've been fine contribution to our team here, and it's. I have to admit, when you first came in, it's like I was doing your dad a favor. You know that, in honor of his memory. But I didn't think you were going to work out. I've been pleasantly surprised.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Whatever problems you have, I'll solve them. I'm gonna give him a big grin and a wink.
Well,
a-
I
as
just
a
hope I
head.
can help you solve this little problem.
Of course.
Okay.
Making friends with my guy. Gonna go to a farm. I can't carry two bodies on a motorcycle, so we need to talk to Alex. Or Blake. Hmm. I like to, yeah, you know what? We're gonna try talking to Blake first. We know how it's gonna go, but it's gonna be funny. It's fun to poke the bear. Is Blake here?
No.
She's not coming tonight.
Okay. Then we're just gonna assume how it went, and Rain came back with a black
Yeah.
eye, and then
Yeah. We know exactly how it went when you even slightly hinted that you were about to put two dead bodies in the trunk of her Mustang.
they're in two hefty bags. I double bagged it.
Yeah. And as soon as you use the term double bag, she just throws you out.
Like
That's
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air style, like ah.
Yep. Yep. Like he literally goes flying out the front door. So,
then
in the course of doing these things, casually murdering a few people, making examples of drug dealers, expanding your influence in the drug dealing networks of New Amsterdam, you're going to pick up some stains on your humanity track.
I'm at 6 already. I'm less than everyone else, so I'm already a bad guy. I mean, the guys I'll take.
Yeah, it's really the two murders.
No, thieves. I killed thieves.
Yeah.
That is
Those
very
are-
Murder
true.
thieves.
I forgot how do I
So you,
how do I
you
add stains?
so you unlock the dots and then you put a slash. Oh, wait,
Okay.
We're just gonna skip straight past. Like you filled your stain track.
no. Oh, then you just have to make the check.
Yep. You get to make another humanity check.
Okay.
And-
How do I do that? Oh, just click on humanity.
Yep. Okay.
I'm only human after all. I'm only
So-
human.
Yep. I mean, for you, it's just this is the price of doing business. You're not gonna lose any sleep over it.
I told them not to steal from me. I would kill them. It's like rule number 1.
So, having done that, where are you spending your XP points to expand your skills or your influence or your abilities? Obviously, you spent the points in obfuscate.
Yes. The other XP I have, I would like to spend in Protean if I meet my sire, or maybe pretty much out because it's
You can save it for if something like that happens.
yeah, I'd like to save it just because that'd be cool if she taught me how to shape change into a wolf.
That
for
would
another
be
creature.
cool.
But I'm at 24 XP, and I don't know what the second point in obfuscate how much that is.
It's
don't know.
one of your
10.
clan disciplines, so it would be 10.
Obfuscate is not. It is from my predator type.
Then it'll be 14.
14.
So you still got 10.
Okay, so I'll take that 14 and then save the 10 plus any extra to try to get the third dot of protein. How much will that be, since that's my clan?
15.
Okay. So I'm 5 XP away. All right,
Cool.
let's go find some rats and kill a
Whoa,
bunch of
whoa.
I will say, I mean, and I have no issue with you expanding your abilities in Obfuscate. With what you've described, I think you probably need to spend at least a few points on either leadership, streetwise, or some advantages to actually start building up
Well, he
this.
has 3 dots in streetwise, right?
I have 2 dots.
2
in
dots.
Streetwise.
Okay. Do you have any dots in leadership?
No. How much is a dot?
3.
Okay.
Your
so
first
I'll do...
your first dot is 3.
Okay.
Your second dot is 6. Your
Okay.
third dot is 9.
I probably need a point of leadership, definitely. So I'm gonna spend a point in leadership, and then the 14 in obfuscate.
And then mechanically, I think, what you're describing about, I'm sort of letting you guys expand your haven, if you will, like each of you's finding your own little niche.
Yeah,
As
I
part of just
changed my haven dot to location to represent moving into the archives.
And I'm totally good with that. There are some advantages, and I think what Rain is doing is probably going to have to put some points into an advantage, because essentially you're building up a drug dealing business network. You're accessing those sorts of things.
I took hopeless addiction as a flaw, and I never got any advantage from it. So I still have the 2 dots. I just don't know where to put them.
Well, I think you also have Look, I don't know that you spent all the dots that you got at character creation. So
Yeah, I've been adding my dots up, looking at the character creation screen, and I don't think I got the right amount of dots. Because I'm still on my starting character sheet.
yeah.
Dot.
So I think we're gonna use this opportunity to add some things in for you.
Yeah, so there's allies and contacts and retainers are all, it kind of depends like what you want to do as far as that goes. Like, cuz allies and contacts are all supposed to be mortals or human people. So those kind of count as your network, as I understand it. Influence could probably.
So I'm
play
just
a
going to go
role
ahead
in
and
that.
give you as part of your background, as part of the way you've role played everything. You're going to get one contact, like 1 point in contact, and that's going to be Mr. Howard.
Ooh.
And if you want to leverage that relationship into what we've talked about, then I think we probably need to bump that one up to 2.
Advantages only cost 3 per dot, so not.
Yeah.
It's very doable.
Okay.
So he's someone that at this point you can go to, and he can get stuff for you.
Yeah, it says
Yeah,
example
jobs.
small time gun dealer is one of
Yep.
the examples.
So I think he's effectively your. Yeah, we'll call him a small-time drug dealer in this situation. So he gives you access to his distribution network, and you're leveraging that. So I think those 2 points could easily have come from character creation.
Out of curiosity, with Rain's rise to power, can he identify Ivan Zaitsev as said connection for where he gets his stuff from?
Maybe.
Teehee.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Can Rain try to put, or can Terry try to put Rain up to figuring that out without Rain really knowing what Terry's up to?
There you go. Because Rain forgets his name.
Like maybe like a politics role?
I don't think politics necessarily rolls into that one.
Persuasion?
I definitely think there's manipulation here. So like you're gonna have to roll your manipulation as your attribute.
Well, can I do politics plus manipulation?
I just don't think politics applies.
Okay. Persuasion?
Persuasion I could see, streetwise I could see.
Yeah, I got persuasion. I have 3 dots in persuasion, so that's just as good. So
Okay.
Persuasion, manipulation.
Yep. I think that
Any modifiers for being beautiful?
I'm gonna say at this point your beauty doesn't really affect Rain.
Well, you gotta try. Woo, 4 successes.
Okay.
Not
And I don't
bad.
know why the dice have started rolling so weirdly. I don't know if
Okay,
you
that's doing it for everybody. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
glad
those
it's not
little-
just me. That makes me feel
those
better
little
because I
dudes.
kept refreshing, thinking it was something wrong with my roll 20. Okay, cool. I'm glad that it's not just me.
I thought we swapped over to Morse code or something.
Rain,
Fucking bullshit.
you're gonna have to roll. I think a wits and insight. Yep, he has no clue what you're doing.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
Yeah, what's up, homie?
Yeah, no. So Terry's just gonna kind of plant the idea in Rain's mind that it's important to know who you're getting your shit from.
And Rain, since you have like, it just comes across as this sort of this natural way in conversation, like, so you don't think about like being directed to go find something out. You're just kind of like, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. It's like I should probably, especially if I'm going to grow, if I'm going to maybe one day take over, I kind of need to know this stuff. And you almost like think about it in your own terms and sort of kind of get around to the point where you think it's your idea to figure it out.
Oh, goddamn, I'm smart.
Yeah, you
know.
got this criminal enterprise thing down.
You know, next time we do a drop off, I'll go in and have a chat.
Yeah, let me know if you need backup.
Ah, no, it's fine. They all know me by now. I'm actually going out for beers with, oh, I wrote his name down, but I have lost my notebook in the move. His, like, guard dude.
Mr. Howard.
Yeah, I've got it in my notebook too, but
Well, just keep in mind, Caesar wasn't stabbed by strangers.
Who?
Last king of Rome, Caesar.
Oh, I never liked the salad.
You're
You can't
okay,
blame
Rain.
that
You
on
gotta be
prison.
shitting me. Come on, you gotta know who Caesar is.
Are you telling me you've never heard about
Like you're
Rome?
fucking with us, right?
Yes, I'm fucking with you. I know who
Okay.
Shakespeare is.
Do you know who Caesar is?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know he didn't invent a
Insight
salad?
check.
I do not have Mr. Howard's details written down anywhere.
It's probably safer that way.
Probably. Is it Gracie Lou Freebush? Is that who you're gonna go get a beer with?
No, it's
It's
no,
John.
it's John. Yeah, John.
We never gave him my last name. It was just John, Mr. Howard's bodyguard.
I mean, that's a great name.
All right. Does anybody else have any other XP expenditures they'd like to explore at this point? Has Alex settled on that blood sorcery ritual he wants to pick up?
Yes. So I'm gonna go for the taste of blood sorcery one. And since Terry is already focusing on potence, I'm gonna keep just the one level of potence with the lethal body and instead put a second point in blood sorcery.
Sheesh.
So I have 7 XP left. I'm just gonna go ahead and spend 6 to get a second point in leadership.
Might as well
Okay.
go all in.
And do please double check. I don't remember exactly how many dots and merits and everything you should end up with at character creation, but let's be sure you're not shortchanging yourself.
If you give me access to everyone's sheets, I could always double check it. Because I did that with Amanda.
I'm trusting you guys with incredible power here. Don't abuse it.
I'm gonna change Terry's name to Fart.
It's canon.
His name is Fart Terry. Mwahahaha.
All right. Now everyone should be able to be edited and reviewed by everyone.
Okay. Now, the beginnings of our nonprofit.
Now everyone can see my clan bane.
Where are we with the pulling of the levers of power in Ridgemont to make that happen, and also what kind of dots need to get spent to make that happen?
I don't think you need to necessarily spend any more dots on this one because you've got the chops politically.
I also have 3 dots in influence. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have 3 in politics, 3 in influence. I guess I kind of already spent the advantages for this one.
Exactly. So it's really just a matter of taking the time to develop, scout a location, figure out, and here you start to lean into some of your contacts in the Camarilla because, starting a nonprofit it's not that difficult. It's easy enough to start up a business of some kind. And I'll say Alex is, sort of experienced more in the technical legal world. Is going to give you some help there. Jay is certainly of help, finding information online and whatnot. But securing like a building location or a existing facility, getting investors and, accruing enough funds to actually do something with it, it takes you a while. So I'm going to say this.
Well, I had an idea on a dot I potentially wanted to pitch you the idea of spending 6 XP and 2 advantage dots to get a retainer at 2 dots who is a ghoul, a family servant, a human lover, or a dominated thrall. Give them a backstory, build them as an average mortal, as a ghoul with no advantages. Oh wait, no. I wanted to do 3 dots. I was thinking about doing the full 9 dots to have a competent retainer who can kind of look over who can be there during the day, if you catch my drift. And actually is under Terry's control, or the Cautery's control.
I think that is a very wise use of those resources if you want to make this non-profit a central part of the
and as a
Coteries
bonus
functioning.
I want to have my retainer live in Terry's apartment during the day and stuff like that, and be the person that actually owns the apartment where the archives are. So it kind of just so Terry's name isn't anywhere. Like,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
and it also gives some kind of somebody to protect Terry during the day when he's sleeping at the archives.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
Now, I haven't designed this person yet, but I wanted to pitch you this idea. I also wanted to get everyone's idea on who this person could be or should be.
So, someone to watch over the bodega
No.
or watch over your nonprofit?
Watch over the nonprofit and the archives where Terry's new apartment is.
Don't you?
Terry moved out of the bodega.
Well, I mean, it's your person.
I know. I hadn't had any ideas really yet.
If it was me, I'd want a strict secretary type.
I already have Blake.
Like,
Is this something
Maybe.
you were thinking about bringing Lorena in to do?
And that's who immediately jumped into my mind.
I think he had other ideas for her.
Well, I don't. Yeah, because I don't know if Terry would want to
Because I know you
Turn her
were
into a
mentioning
thrall?
bringing her
turn
in
her into a
for the
thrall.
nonprofit.
Yeah, like because
What about-
I think Terry would want her to maintain her independence or whatever.
What about folding laundry girl? The one you have to do like Twilight?
No, she didn't. Like, I think Terry wants somebody who's more responsible than that. He wants more of the corporate go-getter type, I think, because that's
You want
we
an
really
intern?
need a type A personality.
How about since Blake is Meryl Streep from The Devil Wears Prada, why don't you get an Anne Hathaway from The Devil Wears
There
Prada?
you
Oh, no,
go,
come on.
Jeremy. There you go. That's using your noggin right there.
Now, come on. We both know that Blake is the Anne Hathaway from The Devil Wears Prada.
She is?
Yeah.
No, Meryl Streep.
No,
is
she's
Meryl
definitely Meryl Streep.
No. She's working her way up to Meryl Streep. Her sire is Meryl Streep.
How about Anne Hathaway when she's still like the nerdy Anne Hathaway?
Well, Anne Hathaway has the friend, the other person at the desk with her, right?
That girl got it rough.
No, but yes, we're going for a Pepper Potts type. That's exactly the type we're going for. A CEO type.
I mean, I'm just saying, you run, especially these evenings. You're leveraging some of your insight, your connections, your knowledge of the city. I mean, there's fundraisers. There's several opportunities for you to run into someone who would sort of fit that profile, is already interested in what you're doing. I think you could quite easily come up with someone who
somebody to
who matches what you're looking
enthrall.
for. And I
A
mean,
work study
maybe
internship.
maybe the first encounter is, Terry's beautiful self turns into a flirty sort of after the party engagement that turns into something more than that.
That's true. That's a good way of putting it. Maybe he's just like, you have potential. Maybe she speaks Russian. It almost seems like it's a prerequisite at this point.
That could be useful.
But I will put that my brain to work and do that homework.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Nick just found his homework assignment.
Yes, but yes, I will spend 9 XP and do our coterie a favor and get us a human to do some of our bidding. So I'll have 3 XP left to spend. That is all. Not very much.
1.
Oh, well, that makes me feel better. How many do you have left, Alex?
I got none left. Spent it all on blood.
Oh, I'm proud of us.
Ben, I'm gonna send you another thing for the list. I would like to turn into a werewolf, not a werewolf, but a wolf in the future when I get 15 XP.
That definitely makes sense.
But I want to learn it from my sire.
And yeah, why don't you make your homework assignment to work on the scene you'd like to have with your sire?
Do you have the Protean discipline?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's where my red eyes and my claws come from.
What's the name of our nonprofit?
Scooter boosters.
We could probably do better.
All right. See, we show where the bar is, and we don't go below that.
We could probably do better. Let's see. Okay, let's think about so let's revisit. What's the point of our nonprofit again?
To help the homeless and better the neighborhood.
So are we actually running are we gonna do an actual homeless shelter?
Yeah.
Well, I got one already, so we could get them to fight each other. We could have
So we're not doing hobo fights.
no, a talent show.
So we'll do I think the idea might be good idea is homeless shelter, soup kitchen, and maybe a Goodwill type store.
Like a soup kitchen or like a food bank kind of a thing?
Yeah, like a food bank kind of thing where we accept donations, have a store, resell things just like Goodwill.
Because it gets cold in this city, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so like a donation center.
Also, what season is this time cap going to? Because we were in summer, weren't we?
Oh, it'll be Christmas.
Well, yeah, we're in the middle of montaging for a 3-year period.
Are you ready
many
for a
Christmases.
montage?
3 Christmases.
Oh, can we have Christmas at Blake's? It just the 3 separate Christmas scenes are just Blake's the same disappointed expression, and we're just in different pajamas having a blast.
Again, makes sense to me.
We have one Christmas at the bodega, one Christmas at Terry's at the archives, and one Christmas at Blake's.
Assuming she ever lets you into her apartment.
That's when she
Blake
finally
went down on
agrees to
Airbnb
let
for
us
that.
in. Wait, is Santa Claus real?
I guess you'll find out.
Oh shit!
I'm not fighting Santa Claus.
He's a mage. He's a wizard.
What if I drink Santa's blood?
What generation is he?
You just remember, that even though you're fairly new to this whole world, even you know that vampires shouldn't drink Fey blood.
What if it was Ridgemont Industries?
As your nonprofit?
You're right. That definitely has more supervillain
Corporate
vibes.
Yeah, but if you were running Ridgemont Industries as your nonprofit, I'd be like,
We should
are you
name
just actively trying to destroy the planet? Is that what you're doing?
we should name it something ironic, like something light and bright, like Dawn's Hope. Like something with
I like
sunlight,
that.
something we can never ever have again because it's Terry trying to hold on to a little bit of humanity.
The Sunshine Center.
Like Sunshine Center.
I like Sunshine Center.
Sunshine Center it is. We are here to brighten your day.
On the first night of opening, I'm gonna pretend to be a homeless person, and you're gonna be handing out soup, and you're just gonna like, I'm gonna be in line.
That's perfect. Just bring your herd by when they need nourishment. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, Terry's gonna use his influence and pull the levers of power and get that whole project started.
Or you guys have me on a very interesting or crazy sideways track here.
Are you like doing quick research on how nonprofits work and how soup kitchens work and how all that shit works?
No, I was currently doing research on the names of patron saints of different diseases.
Ooh. What are some good ones?
Well, I looked up, my first search was for patron saint of leprosy, but that was only in 2009. I was like, seriously? 2009?
Very outdated topic.
Patron Jessica. Saint Jessica.
But there's, I mean, again, I found one for, there's Casimiro Barreo, patron saint of the homeless.
That's a mouthful. I'm never.
There's
gonna remember
Anthony of Padua, missing people and lost things.
that. Saint Anthony.
Anyway, so next time we get together. Oh, and Nick, I don't think you were around for the question I asked, and obviously Amanda's not here. But would you guys have openness to perhaps doing this on a Friday?
Yeah, probably.
I was telling them it's like that if we did it on a Friday, I would probably have slightly more possibilities of doing it multiple weeks in a row because it'd be kind of like what I'm doing now, which is day at work, evening played, knowing I don't have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah,
But on the alternate Fridays, I'd actually have like the entire day where I could, potentially spend some more time prepping and planning stuff.
Yeah, and I haven't been going to Magic on Fridays really, so I'm down for it.
Cool.
Because
Well, we
I
say
do
that we-
enjoy this game.
Yeah. So I always say we aim for 2 Fridays from now. And we'll pick up with
Ben,
Rain.
Ben, hold
Owes
on.
me
Hold on,
at least
hold
an outline.
Do you realize that you just said that we're going to play on Friday the 13th?
Ooh.
No, but it makes perfect sense. assignments. Rain, you owe me at least a sketch of an outline of a scene you want to have with when you find your sire.
Can okay. Yeah, I got it. I was gonna ask you questions, but I shouldn't know the answer to those questions.
And Nick, you owe me something about this person that you find.
Yes, this retainer.
And yeah, how you, and I mean, maybe it's a shared retainer that the entire, like, we could even do that where, like, each member of the group contributes 3 dots to make this person, you know, or not 3 dots, 3 experience points, so it's not all coming from you.
I mean, I wouldn't
But-
say no to that, but I think these guys already spent theirs. Maybe Blake and I can go halvesies.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought we got stuff because, like, as a group, we started as a gang. I thought we got things.
Yeah, you all pooled resources into your haven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're also
But
benefiting from, like, you know, Lucas's resources still and shit like that.
Yeah.
We know people now. We're not rookies.
Lucas
Some
bought
of
me
it
a
is so that
monster.
we wouldn't have to worry about like mundane stuff.
Yes, some of it is definitely so you don't have to worry about as much of that stuff. Because I don't think
Like
that's
always
exactly the
having somebody
kind
on
of
watch at the
gritty we're
mundane
going
stuff.
for.
No, we don't need.
Did I get my bike?
Hell yeah.
Did I get my bike?
Oh yeah, you definitely got your bike.
Is it a Harley?
It is a Harley.
It's a BMX.
It's an older Harley.
Bought you a bicycle and kept
I
the
love the idea of it being like a little rusty Harley.
Like it still runs just fine. And it looks like, you know how they have the choppers now that are like all like kitted out and just, you know, like the show they did. The whatever, Choppers of Orange County or whatever.
Yeah. Where they like
This
yeah,
is
trick out
this is like the
stuff.
inspiration for those without being nearly as cool.
Something like that.
I mean, if
That's
you want
from-
to be, sure.
I feel like it's
That's
something.
from this-
It's like old, like that.
Yeah, it's a little more like that.
Oh, you gave me like a 1940s because the one I posted's from the 70s.
No, I was thinking like old.
Wait, I actually have one that I'm particular to. Oh, if I could just find a picture of it.
I'll be perfectly honest. I had more of this image in my head.
I know what's happening.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, I've seen that movie. Oh,
Easy
it's
Rider?
not- Yeah. That didn't even piss me off.
All right, so we got an assignment for Rain. We got an assignment for Terry. Alex.
And that's everybody.
No. Alex, I want you to think about where it is exactly you're learning these rituals from. Because someone had to teach you this blood sorcery.
Yeah.
And then
Some ideas.
Blake owes me the story of how she ended up in so much debt and owing so many favors.
I would let her know.
I mean, she's given me like the like one sentence version. Just need a little more.
Cool.
But guys, once again, I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I particularly enjoyed introducing Nick to his grandsire.
I mean, it was good to put, be like, oh, that's who that name belongs to. Okay. Because I don't think we had that guy's name yet. We just knew him as the Russians.
Yeah, you had heard
I
the
think
name
I had the
Ivan
name
Zaitsev,
Ivan. Yeah.
but you just didn't like. And again, I think you guys had put together that he's somehow important with the Russians and something going on there. But now you have a little more.
Yup.
But anyway, everybody had fun. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening.
You as well. Thank you
And
so much.